I would say it's Shadowrun.
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
it's got everything. It's got the great
Shadowrun is the
background.
sweetest fucking game ever.
I mean,
It's so fucking
cyberpunk,
sweet.
magic, elves. It's got literally everything. The idea of an elf
Everything.
with like as a street samurai to me is amazing. That's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it
Shadowrun
had
is the shit.
and it had the fantasy thing while still keeping the kind of gritty cyberpunk thing though, which is hard to do. That's a hard balancing act to do. You got fucking elves and fairies.
There is nothing more creative than fucking Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Shadowrun is so fucking creative.
Absolutely. Hey there, welcome everyone to the 8th episode of Geeked and Jacked. Joining me, Gonzo Herrero, is the Doctor, Dr. Todd Lee. And we're here to talk to you about all kinds of nerdy shit because that's how we roll. Because we want to have fun and spread the word of nerdness, fitness, all good things. All right, Todd, so how's your day? Everything good?
No, today was a shit show.
Oh, no, what happened?
So I got a call at 4:30 from Kai, my editor, to let me know that I had a 5 a.m. interview to do.
Oh, shit.
I thought my interview was with Dr. Dean St. Mart at 10 a.m., but it was 10 a.m. Ireland time.
Oh.
So as soon as that finished, I got back in bed, and just as I was falling asleep, my power went out for the 4th time this week.
Oh, man.
So I went to the gym, and when I was at the gym, I got like some really bad news twice. Like while I was at the gym. And then I tried to resolve the day as best as I could. It ending up pretty good about like maybe 20 minutes ago after I think I just had my 3rd meal. I'm just having so I've been up since 4 a.m. It's 9 p.m. now. So I've been up for 17 hours and I just had my 3rd meal.
Oof.
And I'm now starting to hit the blood sugar level to where I can have a personality.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. So let me ask you this. Is the option to go to bed early and skip the meal or stay up and power through?
No.
Power through?
No, you got to get all your food in. Otherwise, you're going to lose muscle while you sleep.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And given the choice of slightly less rest or losing the calories, we know where that goes.
Well, I mean, even if I only got 4 hours of sleep, I don't need to get 12 hours tonight to catch back up. I could probably get in 9 or 10 hours and catch back up, or 9 hours over the next 4 nights.
Yeah.
Like my body will figure out a way to make up for it. Normally 4 hours without sleep doesn't hurt me, but it was just, it was the fact that I didn't get the food in until like my first meal, I was up for already 9 hours. My second meal, I was already up for like 15 hours.
Yeah.
So it was normally I would want to get in the first meal within an hour waking up and my second meal within 4 hours of waking up. Then I would go to the gym after 2 meals in.
Gotcha. Dang.
Yep.
Yeah, but you got to do what you got to do. And you're how many weeks out now? 11? 12?
It's going to be 12.
Okay.
It'll be 12 tomorrow.
Okay. So, I mean, it's funny. It's far away until it's not, right? It just creeps up and
normally I'd be on this many carbs like 2 weeks out. But I've been on this many carbs since like 15 weeks out. Like being at 165 carbs for a month already. Mm-hmm. And I've got 3 more months to go. I've never been this low before on carbs. Certainly not. Yeah, this low for this long. No way.
Gotcha.
So,
and how does that affect your mindset and all that? Is it just a discipline thing and you just kind of
I just have no patience for anyone's bullshit.
Gotcha.
Like if some people, like I've been forbidden like to answer DMs pretty much. It's just like, I just cannot be nice to people. I have no patience for stupidity.
And does this happen on every prep or is this particular to this one? Every prep?
Every prep.
Just how it is?
it takes emotional energy and mental energy, which uses calories. When someone watches a video like that has the blue car has 4 wheels, and then they send you a direct message, how many wheels does the car have? It's just like, you're a fucking idiot, is what I want to respond.
Right.
Like, I hate people that are stupid. I hate
Yeah.
them. I want to choke them to death. So it's like, but I can't control my mouth when I'm on this low carbs.
Gotcha. I mean, it's a thing. It's stress. It's stressful. So
It
I
isn't
absolutely
if there's
understand.
the only thing that's stressful because I'm an introvert and
Right.
people think I'm an extrovert and they expect me to be an extrovert. I don't have any fucks to give their feelings.
Gotcha.
I have no fucks to give. So I'm all out of fucks. So it's when I need to burn fucks to pretend to not hate someone for being an idiot, I
Right.
can't do it.
But let me give you some hope. There are some smart people out there, buddy. You know,
There
there
are, but they're
few
not
and far
annoying.
between. Okay.
Well,
All right. So let's see. Let's throw some stuff out at you and engage you in a more fun way, and then hopefully we can
right,
like lighten the mood. So
right.
first thing, for a good laugh, Ironheart just came out on Disney Plus, and I heard it was going to be terrible. I thought I'd jump in with an open mind. Let's give it a chance. 5 minutes into it. 5 minutes into it. This is the worst thing Marvel has ever put it out. Period.
I
Like
have
period.
no
End of
idea
story.
what it is. I've
So
never even heard of it.
Ironheart is a character that is, I guess, has been tried a couple times in the comics as a successor to Tony Stark, to Iron Man, and she's basically a girl from the streets who, yeah. So she's a genius, she's a girl boss, and all the usual. And she's the complaint is immediately on the show. It was like, I have no money, so I can do questionable things to finance my armor, which kind of takes away from the hero thing for me, man, because the hero has to have principles. If you're a good guy, it can be just situational or conditional. You have principles. That's why Captain America's Captain fucking America, and Daredevil's Daredevil, because they have principles that they will not cross. Batman, same thing. Superman in his own way, same thing. But I don't like the whole justify the means BS. It's too reflective of an attitude that I've seen in our culture that's become more and more common. Where like if somebody feels that they're right, they can trample over somebody. And you can't be trampling over people and taking things that are not yours and doing things to other people just because you think you're right. You know what I'm saying? So that's in a nutshell what I got out of the first, I think, 20 minutes. I'll probably end up the first episode because I'm a completist. You know what I mean? Like once I start something, it's hard to like at least not finish it or see it to the end. But it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. So anyway, don't waste your time on it. That's that's one piece of pop culture news that I was like, oof. Yeah. And by the way, the stories that they actually had this thing in the can for the last couple of years, and they wouldn't release it because they knew it was bad, and then they reshot it, redid it, and here we are.
They're so fucking stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
When are they going to learn that no one gives a fuck about the female protagonist, girl boss bullshit? You'd think they would have learned with Snow White,
Yeah.
but they just won't stop embarrassing themselves. Disney
Well,
sucks so bad.
so the new strategy that Disney's trying, apparently, the word around the campfire is that Bob Iger, he's trying to straddle the fence, right? He sees the problem, but he's also beholden to his stockholder investor people who are like, BlackRock, Vantage, and those guys are heavy duty, left leaning, very liberal, very DEI. That's their thing. But he sees the problem too with the audience not responding. So he's apparently the strategy is going to be to make some content that's like, normal content for regular people without the wokey woke. And then some content that's going to be to appease the investors, right? And that way he thinks that he can like, float the company. But the thing is like people,
This doesn't make any sense because
it
an
doesn't.
investor wants to make money.
Yeah.
And so why would they want to invest in shit that isn't
Well,
going to appeal, that the modern audiences don't exist?
Well, these are the same guys that created the social score for investors that was used like a couple of years ago. It's fallen out of favor now. but it's that same group of, super wealthy, luxury belief kind of people, unfortunately. And the thing is, like, you can't really fool the audience. You can't fool an audience all the time. You might be able to fool them a couple times, but eventually they get wise to you. And this is where we are. We're like, I think the audience is tired of the MCU and getting preached at and all that. But we talked about that. It is what it is. I do have one
How
piece of.
is
Oh,
how
yeah.
is this a lighter? How is this lighter affair?
I'm going
Like
lighter, I
let's
promise.
you're like let's lighten the mood, and then you
I
bring
know.
up
I ended up
Disney.
here. I ended up with like you told me about your tough day, and I told you like I mean, not as tough as yours by any means. I mean, I just had to go to work, and it was okay. Like I like where I work and the people I work with, but then I had to come home to that crap sandwich and eat that turd that was Ironheart. So that's that's pretty fucking horrible. But anyway, some better news. Rumor is, that the James Bond franchise got sold to Amazon and all that good stuff, right? Well, the first big rumor slash announcement, I'm still not sure if it's official, but it sounds like it's about to be, is that they're getting Denis Villeneuve, the director of Dune, to do the next Bond film, to direct and write. Now that
They were talking about having Idris Elba as James Bond, and I think he'd do an amazing job.
he'd be great. He's an amazing actor. He is an amazing actor. And he has presence too. He's got like that screen presence. Like when he's on
He
screen,
might
like
be a
yeah,
little old by now, though. I
yeah.
think
I
they fucked
guess
around for too long.
yeah, because if you what it's that movie on average every couple of years, 2-3 years with Bond on average every 2 or 3. You get 3 movies out of him, it'd be 60. That might be tough to pull.
Siri, how old is Idris Elba? 52. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so 3 movies tops.
Yeah,
Even in today's
52.
world. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and they also have Cavill's always been in the running, and
Of course.
what's the name of the kid from Kick-Ass, who's a really good actor. He can do action. He did Craven the Hunter recently. Aaron Taylor
That's
Leitner.
the Wait, hold on.
They're thinking
That's the
about him.
kid from Kick-Ass?
Yeah, that's the kid from Kick-Ass. He grew up.
I just watched 28 Years Later,
Yeah,
and he was awesome.
yeah. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor. Really good.
He was
So,
also in Nosferatu. He's a really
oh
good
shit, I haven't
actor.
seen that yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pay for that. I'm gonna pay for
Craven
that
looked
one.
terrible, but he carried that whole movie.
Yeah, I mean the movie itself. I mean, even when even Russell Crowe is hard pressed to make the movie shine. I mean, that's a tough one, and they kept it at least entertaining. It wasn't the best movie. It was very formulaic, but it was like a good. Hey, I just spent a
It
couple
was
hours being
way
entertained.
better than I expected it to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't Morbius. Morbius was rough, man.
Oh, such a
Morbius was,
disappointment.
yeah,
They had such a good character, they had a good actor, and they had
yeah.
awesome special effects and a shit story.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say this about Jared Leto. That dude can absolutely act if you give him the material.
Uh-huh.
So, wasn't he in Dallas Buyers Club where he did like some heavy drama crap? There was some heavy stuff going on
I
there.
didn't see that one, but you know, in Lords of War,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
his
right.
rendition of the Joker from
Hmm.
Suicide Squad and
Yeah,
um,
he's been in a
Justice
bunch of
League,
things.
Snyder Cut. Like
Blade Runner
it's just
2049. He was great in that.
I can't sit through that. Tried to watch it 4 times,
Oh,
and I can
really?
only get
That's
like
not your.
halfway. It's I love the setting. I just don't like slow ass movies.
It's a super slow film
Like
noir burn for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It's
Altered Carbon
yeah,
is a fucking phenomenal
yeah, yeah.
version of there was no wasted energy on season 1. Season 2, that Mackie guy can't carry a candle next to the guy from the first movie.
Yeah,
That
yeah. Whoever that guy was, I forget his name of that actor, but
he's
he has
Swedish or
that.
something. He
Yeah, and
played
he's got that
Flag in the
combo.
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that's him. That's him exactly. And he's got that combo, like being like super jacked and still being able to act, which is rare. That's a rare combo, for sure. Like he can pull the physical role and still do the emoting and the acting. Not many people could do that. I mean, even Arnold himself. I mean, honestly, Arnold was a movie star. He wasn't a great actor per se, but he was a great movie star. because he was Arnold. He would charm you. You could like see through the acting.
All right, hold on. Have you seen Killing Gunther?
Nope, I have not.
All
What is
right.
that?
Have you seen his comedy on Netflix where they're making fun of True Lies? Did you
Oh,
see True
Fubar, the
Lies?
series.
Yeah, Fubar.
He's
Yeah,
good on
like
that. He's entertaining. Yeah.
then there's also another one where he's the cop and that I forgot the name of the movie.
Is it
He's
old
done a lot.
or?
Okay, after he's done a lot of really good dramas ever since he stopped being the governor. He's done maybe
Okay.
10 good dramas. I think Arnold's a good actor.
Yeah.
I
I
think he
mean,
is.
when I think of good actors, I'm thinking of like Jared Leto we used as an example.
Mhm.
But I think of somebody like I don't know, like I'll even say it, like Brad Pitt. That dude,
Mhm.
you could take away his looks and he could still act. And we talked about that in one of the podcasts like not too long ago.
Mhm.
That he doesn't get a lot of respect for that because he's actually, a
Right. If they're
fine
too
actor.
good looking, then people don't realize they're good actors.
Yeah, or Meryl Streep, who can do whatever the hell she wants. She's like believable in everything, which is insane. It's like a freaking
Kathy
chameleon.
Bates.
Kathy
Kathy
Bates,
Bates.
same thing. She can take comedy, drama, horror. It doesn't matter. She'll, knock it out of the park every single time.
I think
Yeah,
her best
incredible.
role was season 3 of American Horror Story.
Yeah.
She was
Oh
so
man,
good in that. She was so good in season 3 of American Horror Story.
American Horror Story is one of those shows that I think I saw probably till season 3 or 4, maybe if I
Oh shit,
recall.
you
Then I kind of
missed
lost it
so
because it
many.
just went.
You missed so many good seasons. So
Yeah.
season 1 was the worst season. That was just the haunted house in LA.
Oh man, but
Season
that
2
was great.
season
So if
2
that's
is
the worst,
Season 2 is Asylum. Season 3 was Coven, which is the
Mhm.
witches in New Orleans. That
Yeah.
was my favorite season. Season
Okay.
4 is The Freak Show. That's a fucked up season.
Okay.
Season 5, I forgot that was The Hotel with
Mhm.
Lady Gaga. That was not a good season.
Okay.
Season 6 was Roanoke. That was a
Mhm.
fucking awesome season.
Okay.
Season 7 was my favorite. It was Cults, and it was about liberals in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. So
Oh
it was
shit.
so fucking accurate.
So
It
very
was
topical for you too, right?
it was literally they look like they took two different so here
uh,
everything's either heights or hills,
uh-huh.
like Beverly
Okay.
Hills, Bloomfield Hills,
Yeah.
Arlington Hills, or there's Heights, Sterling
Uh,
Heights, Madison Heights. So they took like two of them that don't exist, like they have Madison Hills or whatever.
right.
So
Right.
it's like they take, but it's clearly the upper west side is
Uh-huh.
where this takes place. It's so fucking accurate. It was so funny because it was way before the liberal people got way out of control. It like
Right.
saw the future. Then
Mhm.
season 8 was Apocalypse. That was amazing. And
Okay.
then I forgot what season 9 was. Oh, season 9 was 1984. So it was like a
Oh,
cross
nice.
between American Werewolf in London and Friday the 13th
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
Halloween. It's so good. Then season 10,
Damn.
I think
Okay.
season 10 was a split season where it
Mhm.
was two things.
Like two
And then
stories, like two
yeah,
shorter
and then
stories. Okay.
season 11 was a split season, which was really upsetting. And season 12 was, I think, New York City, which was about the gay culture in New York City. So I didn't watch that one.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
don't know if season 13 is, but the point is, I would say that the show was fucking phenomenal from
Uh-huh.
season 2 to season 10, as long
Uh-huh.
as you skip season 5. So the worst seasons are season 1, season 5, the hotel in Los Angeles, and
Right.
then the New York City one. Those were the
Gotcha.
worst seasons.
Okay. Well, I'll
Every
definitely put
other
it on my
season
list.
is
Yeah.
worth watching, especially I think Apocalypse is the sequel to season 3.
Okay. Got it.
So season 3 is the best season.
Mhm.
Apocalypse is a sequel to that. So
Like
that's
the
season,
follow-up.
I believe, 8 or 9.
Got it. So I was gonna ask you, since you mentioned like witches and so on, I ran across this Discovery of Witches show, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you heard
Oh,
anything
it's
about
so
this thing?
good. It's so
It's
good.
good? Okay. All
Oh,
right.
it's
So it's
really good.
worth.
It's
Okay.
not just
What's
about
the
witches
vibe?
either. It's got vampires, werewolves,
Oh, okay.
witches, and demons. Yeah,
So supernatural.
it's kind of light. It's not very serious. They're not like it's not like very dark and evil.
Right.
It's like
Right.
it's clearly written by women for women. So
Okay.
it's all like fluffy, but it's still good.
So is it kind of like the first seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe, like a little
No,
bit humorous
no,
like that?
no.
No.
The
No.
first season of Buffy was way darker,
Mhm.
and it was also funnier. It's kind of like if somebody had a closed head injury while after writing Mayfair Witches,
Right.
and then they thought they were like a child, and they were wearing a diaper,
Okay.
and then they used crayons to write Mayfair Witches. Then you'd get
You
Discovery of
get this
Witches.
thing. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. All right. So it's definitely not as like you said, not super
yeah.
dark
If
crazy.
Mayfair
Okay.
Witches is like a 9, and
Hmm.
American Horror Story is a 10, then
Yeah.
this would be like a solid 4.
Gotcha. I did ask you, did see the Interview with the Vampire remake the second season already, right?
Yeah.
Which I have to catch up
I
with
don't
that
know if I
because
finished it because the girl who's playing Claudia is so bad. She's
oh,
insufferable.
because they changed her, right? From the
They
or
changed the
is it
actress, and she went
okay?
from being the star
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
like Lestat was the best, then it
Hmm.
was Claudia,
Yeah.
and then the new Claudia is insufferable. Like she
Okay.
has she's like loud and brash and pushy and not pretty and not charming. She
Yeah.
just sucks.
Because that
It's
was the
just
thing
this.
with Claudia. The character was supposed to be like super charming and cute
Yep.
and up until she freaking slashed her neck open, So
Yep. To use
yeah.
vampire terms, the Claudia from
Hmm.
for season 1 had a 5 charisma, probably
Uh-huh.
like a 4 to 5 appearance.
Uh-huh.
The Claudia in season 2 has like a 1 charisma
Oh shit.
and maybe a 2 appearance.
And maybe
She's
protein.
hideous. Just
Protein.
listening to the sound of her voice just makes you want to fast forward. She's awful.
Yikes. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
She just ruins the
That's
show.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'll remember that then. Definitely, like when I watch it, like take it with
Well,
a
plus
grain.
there's no Lestat either in the second season, really.
Right. And
And
so is
not
it all while he's in
it's
torpor and all that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit with Armand, and oh, it just sucks so bad. Season 2, and then they overemphasize Santiago, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, season 2 sucks so bad. But the cut scenes
Hmm.
to the Dubai in modern day
Yeah.
are still great.
Yeah. Is
So
it still
it's
Eric Bogosian doing his thing, being the
of
interviewer
course,
and all that?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
And
kept
he's
him good.
so fucking rude compared to what Christian Slater was in the
It's
original
a
movie.
well, so it's a different interpretation, and of course, it's the character that
It's an inferior interpretation. I read the
do you think
books. Oh yeah. That
so?
I read the books, and like Louis was nothing like the books, and the movie were almost identical. And
You
then
mean the original, the '80s movie
yeah,
or whatever? Yeah,
yeah,
'90s.
they
Yeah,
completely fucked up the plot with the show. The show's still good, but
yeah,
it totally fucks up the plot. They totally
yeah.
changed the plot to push their woke agenda.
Well, so they
Although,
they moved Louis' background like 50 years forward or something, and
right, and they
like
changed his race
right,
and his
right.
profession. And
Yeah.
they made it, and it's just they fucked up Louis' character completely. And then the dumbest part is he's still a whiny pussy. It's like, let me go that straight. You were a pimp drug dealer in the ghetto,
Right.
and you were like a anti-hero. Then you become a vampire and you turn into a whiny, craven bitch.
And not
Shut
only
the
that,
fuck
he was
up.
a very successful pimp and whatever in
Right.
the guy. He was like a little baby Scarface back then.
He was
So
like Chalky White from Boardwalk Empire. Like he
yeah,
was so
basically.
successful.
Yeah.
But but Lestat was so good, and Claudia is so good in the show over Tom Cruise and Kirsten
Yeah.
Dunst in the
Hmm.
movie that they
They carry the
carry
whole
it.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
they carry.
Yeah. Season one
Lestat
was
is
phenomenal.
fucking amazing in season 1.
Yeah, yeah. Even down to the accent. He's like exactly as he
Everything.
was written, basically.
Right. He's so much more like the book Lestat.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And
like
then they
the big guy. He's actually strong. He's like rugged. It's not Tom Cruise, bro. It's not.
right. And I don't know. I thought that Brad Pitt did a much better job of playing Louis than Jason. What's his name? Jason Alexander or something. I know that's the guy from Seinfeld, but
Yeah.
there's There's the actor who is Grey Worm in Game of Thrones who plays
Oh my God.
Louis. What's his name?
I'm not getting it, bro.
Siri. Who
Siri time.
played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones? All right, cool. Thank you. All right.
Who was it?
So it's Jacob Anderson.
Jacob Anderson. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's see. What else do I have? So I was gonna ask you, since we did alternate history last time, I was gonna say, like, I found a list of the alleged top 10 tabletop role-playing games. You wanna weigh in on that?
All right, what's the list? Tell me.
I figured you'd like take a crack at this thing. All right, so the list is.
I'm going to say number one is obviously D&D is number one.
Yeah, it is, of course.
And then number two, up until 2003, number two would have been Vampire the Masquerade.
What do you think it is now?
I think it's still Vampire the Masquerade.
It is.
Yeah. Fuck
yes,
yeah.
it is. And the reason why, because I did my research on this one. I ChatGPT'd it and checked it out. And apparently the reason is what made Goth cool again, and it defined storytelling systems in RPGs, which it did. You know, it was political, sexy, tragic, and writes with character sheets. A little bit more than that, I think, but it's definitely good for what it is. For telling the story. For true.
And it's not even what's fucked up though is that they're so not doing it justice because Vampire Masquerade is just one of the games that makes up the World of Darkness.
It's just a facet of the whole thing.
It's just a tiny facet. It'd be like not even Forgotten Realms in D&D. It would be like the Sword Coast in Forgotten
like
Realms
a section of
in D&D. Yeah. It's just a small section. It's not even Underdark. It's not Karatur. It's not Aztlan. It's not fucking Planescape, Spelljammer, Dark Sun. D&D has so many, but like to say Vampire the Masquerade, it's just like the Sword Coast of Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
that's how narrow it is.
Of focus compared to like the entirety. Well, and the thing is like Vampire the Masquerade is the crown jewel of the White Wolf family. It really is.
By far. It's at least 50 to 80% of the people who play the game play Vampire.
Yeah. I mean, and there are, the other games definitely brought a lot, the Mage, the Ascension definitely had its thing. Werewolf, if you were into like the whole combat blood and guts thing, I guess maybe, the backgrounds were okay. I kind of like the clans or whatever.
And then all the other games just didn't take off.
Yeah.
Because Vampire was simple, so anyone could play it. Werewolf was a bit chaotic because there's just millions of gifts without any rhyme or reason to organize them. Mage was way too complicated for people to follow. Nobody was smart enough to play it. And then Wraith was so fucking dark that it depressed people so much they had to shit can it.
I mean, I get it. Like I said, I read one novel. I've read probably 10 or 12 of the vampire novels over time. I read one Wraith novel. The first one was called, I'll never forget it, Beyond the Veil. That one book, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm playing this thing. This is depressing as fuck. Like the story of this guy trying to like get his surviving family to acknowledge his existence or whatever. Forget it. It was awful. All right, so take a guess at number 3. And I think this one, you and I agree on this one probably. Not a hard guess.
I would say it's Shadowrun.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
It's got everything. It's got the
Shadowrun
great background.
Is the sweetest fucking game ever.
I mean,
it's so fucking
cyberpunk,
sweet.
Magic, elves. It's got literally everything. The idea of an elf with like as a street samurai to me is amazing. That's an amazing idea, So, yeah, and then it
Shadowrun
had
is shit,
and it had the fantasy thing while still keeping the kind of gritty cyberpunk thing, though, which is hard to do. That's a hard balancing act to do. You got fucking elves and fairies.
There's nothing. There is nothing more creative than fucking Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Shadowrun is so fucking creative.
Absolutely. All right, number 4. I'm gonna just call him out because now it starts getting kind of.
Oh no, I'm gonna be able to.
You wanna guess? All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rifts.
Not too far. It was Call of Cthulhu. This is the the one that
Call of Cthulhu is number 4?
number 4 apparently.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Apparently because of the mechanics of insanity and the way it worked, as well as the the horror done in a very faithful to the books way, because it really was truly faithful to the books. Like
Yeah, it was so
captured
good.
that. Yeah, that was a fun one.
All right, number 4.
5. Number 5 is, yeah, you kind of called
Riffs.
it. Well,
Riffs.
GURPS as a whole, but Riffs is one of the modules that they call out.
Right.
There's Rifts, there's Rome, they call out, because it's the first game that you were able to like understand both the politics and the lower stuff in Rome. You could actually do like a sword and sorcery thing in Rome if you wanted to. So that was big. And their martial arts system, their add-on book,
Ninjas and Super Spies.
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Ninjas
phenomenal.
and Super Spies was for GURPS.
Phenomenal. And they had so many fucking source books eventually.
But it's so weird that they picked GURPS, not Riffs, but they did Vampire, not World of Darkness.
Again, it's a scope granularity thing, I'll bet. Or the other thing is, like, remember, this is a list compiled probably by AI from like thousands of people. So not everyone is going to be diving into
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That we dive.
We were 5 deep so far, right? So we're going on to 6.
Number 6. Now they start getting where I'm like, I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Don't tell me.
I won't.
Pathfinder.
It is It is. It's Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. The fantasy
Warhammer Fantasy version of Warhammer,
which is not terrible. I played it.
That's weird that Warhammer Fantasy beat out Warhammer 40K. That doesn't make sense.
Well, because they're going for tabletop role-playing games rather than and 40K is far more of a tactical.
It's a miniature
game.
You're right. You're right. Fantasy is a role-playing game, whereas 40K is not a role-playing game.
That's right.
It's a miniature game.
Exactly. It's tactical, which, by the way, we'll talk about that in the future too. Tactical games, if you're into that. I don't know. There's a couple
I never had enough money for Warhammer 40K.
Oh, nobody does.
Like, I no.
Now. And I'm a working ass professional, But anyway,
each miniature is like $50 if you get someone to paint it, and you need hundreds of them. Yeah.
Yep. No, it's a crazy investment of a game. It's not like, so Star Wars used to have an amazing miniature game called X-Wing. Now that game you could get for under $200. You could field a couple of very different like lists and stuff. A couple $100 you could play for a year. So
that brings up
Warhammer,
an interesting point.
Yeah.
So is number 7 on the list a Star Wars role-playing game?
It is not, and it is one that I am not familiar with, actually. It's called Stars Without Number.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. It's a sandbox sci-fi at its finest. To me, if you were going to put a game up there, like,
it should be Starfinder.
It would be Starfinder. It could be, oh my God, the TSR one.
What do you call it? Top Secret SI?
Not the spy one, the sci-fi, the space one. They had one. Star Frontiers?
Spelljammer?
Star Frontiers.
Oh.
I think it was Star Frontiers. You could put that in one. Or Traveler. You could put Traveler.
I would say fucking Star Wars, the role-playing game from 1991.
The Edge of the Empire,
West End,
maybe?
Well, no, 1991.
Oh, the West End one.
West End one, the original, the one that they based the books on the role-playing game.
Yeah.
That all of Lucasfilms started playing the role-playing game, and that's what filled in all the backstory for the other books that came out. Yeah,
really?
The role-playing game influenced all the material that came after Return of the Jedi.
Well, that makes sense, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that the role-playing game was that fucking good that everyone at Lucasfilm played it.
All right. Take a guess at number 8. Let's see where your head's at.
Fuck, man. We've already covered almost everything. You just named off something I've never even heard of. I can't believe Pathfinder is not on this list.
It is actually number 8. It actually is number 8. Yeah, first and second edition, both. Is what it says. Yeah, it says for the crunch lovers, born from D&D 3.5e. Pathfinder said, what if we made the rule book even thicker?
Pathfinder was the most, it's like 3rd edition at 0.5 advanced.
Yeah.
Pathfinder is so much more technical and precise than 5th edition D&D. 5th edition D&D is kind of like idiot proof for like lower IQ people, but Pathfinder is like Shadowrun. Like Shadowrun, in order to play Shadowrun correctly, you had to at least have like a 130 IQ. Because like
Yeah.
like you fire rockets and then they've got countermeasures. Then you've got
Yeah.
countermeasures. It would take like 20 or 30 minutes to resolve one attack when
Yeah.
you were doing vehicle on vehicle combat. Shadowrun's so fucking advanced.
Yeah. Yeah. But that I love their D6 system too. The way it was elegant too. It was
It's
very
so
elegant how it
elegant.
worked.
It was
Yeah.
so elegant.
It
But
definitely
I think the
should.
D10 system that they made Vampire out of Shadowrun, and I
Yeah.
think they even made it better.
So that one is perfect for a storytelling game. It's perfect. It's got just enough complexity to keep it interesting without overwhelming or without slowing down the storytelling, right? Because if it takes too long to determine an action, you lose that momentum of the story of the
But
moment.
Shadowrun had it best. Like if you roll a 31 on initiative, you go on 31 and you get a complex action or 2 simple actions. Then you get 9 free actions until 21, and you get to go again with a complex action or 2 simple actions. Then you get 9 free actions until you go again on 11. Then you get 9 free actions until you go again on 10. On 1.
That seems
It's
like a very
it's
specific, like your
so
character did this a lot.
no, it's just that you had to. That's why Wired Reflexes cost 5 essence points. Is that game was about winning initiative. Whoever wins
Yeah,
initiative
wins
wins
the
the
thing.
fight.
No doubt.
And that's why that Wired Reflexes was so fucking important. In Vampire the Masquerade, you don't get all your celerity actions on your action. So
Right.
what we used to do is we used to stratify it out. It's like we could only do this if there's 2 of us because we didn't know anyone else smart enough to be able to handle it. But if we rolled, let's say, a 20 initiative and you had a 4 celerity, then you would go on 20, 15,
Right.
10,
Split it out.
5,
Yep.
and 0. And
Right.
that's how we would do the celerity actions, and we'd stratify it out for each person that way based
Yeah.
on what their initiative was. So we took the Shadowrun theme and applied it to celerity. When
Yeah.
other people were around, I knew they couldn't process it. So everyone gets their everyman action, then
Right.
everyone gets their celerity 1 action, then everyone gets their celerity 2 action.
Yeah,
And at the
just a
end of the
simple
round,
version. Yeah.
the person who's got 5 celerity gets to go on celerity 3, 4, and 5 at the end of the round, which isn't how it would really work in real life.
Yeah, because
more
you think with
celerity
celerity
you
you go
have,
first.
You would go first.
Yeah,
You wouldn't go
because
last.
you're fucking fast. Yeah.
Right.
No,
and
that
so you would
makes
just
perfect sense.
butcher everyone before they get a chance to act. That's how
Right.
celerity would really work.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean,
not-
that's why any character that's got super speed like that, Quicksilver, whatever, when you think about it, those guys can be fucking terrifying. If they existed. That would be terrifying as fuck.
Well, what's funny is though the Quaisian have 3 different forms of celerity. They get Yang Prana, which is level 1. Every Yang Chi you spend, you get an extra action or an extra damage level. Then they get Black Wind, so they spend 1 Demon Chi, and they can get their Black Wind and extra actions or extra damage levels. Then they can spend Demon Chi at a 1-for-1 rate. So if you had a 5 in Poe and a 5 in Black Wind, and you had a 1 in Yang Prana, but 5 free Yang, and you could spend that many per turn, which most Quaisian can't, you could get 15 extra actions in a round.
Shit.
But they're soft and squishy as fuck. Nothing lets them soak ag. Unless they have Yang Prana or Yin Prana 6, then they could create an energy shield. Or in the companion, they came out with Iron Mountain, which basically was like Fortitude.
Okay. It's like the Asian vampire fortitude.
Yeah, but Iron Mountain is every level reduces the difficulty to soak by 1, or you could use one of the levels as an extra die. And Iron Mountain lets you soak ag where normally they can't soak ag.
Gotcha. Good.
So they were super squishy.
Yeah. So number 9. Want to take a guess? This one I have not heard of. Straight up. And I played a lot of games growing up.
If you haven't heard of it, I'm sure I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
What is it,
maybe.
Wheel of Time?
Legend of the 5 Rings.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Apparently
of Legend of the 5 Rings.
Have you? Okay,
Totally.
because I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's based on Miyamoto Musashi's
Oh,
book
okay.
of the
On the
5
book.
Rings.
On the book
Yeah.
5. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like it's a feudalistic samurai type role playing game.
It is. It says it's samurai drama meets deadly politics, which is a perfect combo for a game.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, you could just play You could just play Kindred of the East.
Yeah.
You don't need to play a different game. White Wolf has it covered.
Yeah. No, that's true. And then the last one, if you want to guess, this one I know because it was very dry when I picked it up. When I picked it up, I was like 12 or 13, maybe. Anyway, if you want to take a guess, I'll let you go. But
Probably Cyberpunk 2030, 2020.
that's an honorable mention, and it should be here, by the way, because the one they picked is Traveler because it was the first big sci-fi game. It was the first big
Traveler?
hard sci-fi. Traveler, yeah.
When did it come out?
Oh, like 78, 79, maybe
Oh,
80.
that's why. Okay, because
Yeah,
1985 was the first Cyberpunk box set.
yeah. So that's why it's the first one that took like a really like their character generation system is so hardcore, Todd, that you could die in it. Like you could start rolling a character going through their system, and halfway through something happens, and like you died like during training or some shit, and you have to start over. It was crazy. It was.
That's the stupidest way to make a character.
But it's
is that
hilarious.
You don't get
though.
to play it. You die while you're making the
like
character.
while you're rolling dice, right? Because what it does is like it generates your career, and then you decide like, so do you retire? Do you keep moving forward so that you can age your character and get more skill points if you
like
want
Millennium's End. Millennium's
Yeah.
End was like that too.
Yep, exactly. So if you're okay with playing like a 50-something-year-old like me, you'd be like full of fucking skills though. So
Right, but your
supposedly.
dexterity and strength and stamina would go down.
Exactly, because
Right.
you're older. So that's the trick. Let's see. Honorable mention. So Cyberpunk, also Cyberpunk Red 2020, which I don't know which
That
I guess
was
must be
much
the-
better than 2013. 2020
Okay.
was way better than 2013.
Okay. Something called Mutants and Masterminds. I don't know what that one is.
That sounds familiar. Like that's like Gamma World.
Yeah. Oh, Gamma World. Gamma World's in there, and Gamma World is
Okay.
freaking phenomenal. I loved that one. I loved every edition of that one. I think there were 3, and I think I had all 3. It was one of those that I always wanted my friends to play it, and they never wanted to play it with me. I ended up just reading the books and, memorizing the lore and the story, which was very cool. It was
Gamma
very
World
cool.
was cool. The
Yeah.
fucking Marvel game.
Yeah, Marvel Superheroes was great. Did you ever play the DC one though?
No, fuck DC.
So it was not as good because but they did do one clever thing. Their stats were exponential. So
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Superman had a strength of like say 53, right? Because it's exponential. So Batman might have like a 4 strength, but Batman had like 10 intellect, and then Superman had only like 7, A normal person being somewhere between 2 and 4 in that range,
Right.
that they had. So, but other than that, and I mean, what that did was it allowed heroes that were like wildly out of proportion in power to like kind of cohabit the same space and still be able to interact,
Well, like if Batman's the leader of the Justice League, it would make sense he was the smartest person.
Yeah. I mean, he was. He was. By the way, have you read the any of the old 90s Justice Leagues, the funny ones, where Batman's like this badass leader and he enforces being the leader of the Justice League by basically beating them all to hell and like playing 4D chess with them? It's hilarious. You should check that out. J.M. DeMatteis. I'll send you a list. I'll send you a list of those if you ever want to check those out. And they're in that modern comic book style that you like. They don't look like Dick Tracy
okay.
cartoons, man.
All right, good. I fucking
cool.
hate that shit. I like it when
Yeah.
it's like Spawn or better.
Yeah,
Right? It's like,
it's in
I
that
want-
style. It's got that kind of graphic-y style. Jim Lee, or I guess Rob
Yep.
Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, all
Yep.
those guys.
Well, guys who wrote, when the X-Men comics after 91 were fucking awesome. Yeah, like I like comics that are cool, like look good. I hate the fucking classic look of comic books.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their style, right? And I don't know if you know this, I graduated from comic book school. So I studied.
No, I
all
did
of
not
these.
know that.
Yeah, man. I
Oh.
graduated from the Kubert School up in Dover, New Jersey. The only technical trade school in the entire country founded and run by people who work in the industry.
So, did you learn inking or what?
Everything. Inking, penciling, lettering by hand, because this was before computers. This is like the early 90s, so computers were only now. Digital coloring had only recently started. We had Photoshop like 3 or something. It was old school. We learned how to ink. We learned how to paint to do like graphic novels, like in that painted style. It was a phenomenal, once in a lifetime in the world kind of a place. It really was magical. I loved it. I really did. Made some great friends there too. So, and that's how I ended up doing what I do now. Like I went from comic books to working in New York City, working for DC for a very short time as a freelancer, and then learning the internet. This is when all of this was new. And I spent 10 years being a designer and being a freelance gun for hire designing while I played with my band. It was awesome. We got to tour Europe, the whole 9 yards. The dream, man. We did the dream. But anyway, there you go. A little background. And I will not give any more details to protect the not so innocent that I may have met back then. I'll just say it like that. I just leave it at that.
Okay.
Let's see other role playing things that I can think of. I think that kind of covers most of them that I recall that were super fun. There was a Lord of the Rings game role playing, Middle Earth role
Really?
playing. Yeah, but it wasn't. It just didn't hit like once you play D&D, it was like, and it's the irony, right? Because obviously D&D was inspired strongly by Tolkien and all that stuff. So, which by the way, I've always had like weird ideas about the idea of like race alignments, but it worked so well for him to tell his fable of Middle Earth. The idea that orcs were intrinsically evil, and then like
Oh, like elves
that's a
were
strange
chaotic
concept.
good, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
dwarves were
yeah,
lawful good. I always thought that was stupid. I
yeah.
like that they
Because
did away with that in D&D Fifth Edition, where any race can be any alignment.
and it makes sense because I mean ultimately they're individuals, right? There may be some tendencies, or I guess the most you could argue is like if you're a magical race, you were created to be that way. And then, so, like if somebody creates orcs to be the enemies of elves, then they'll be evil or whatever. I don't know. Interesting
Well,
concept.
the thing is, like the Drow, for instance,
Yeah.
if they worship a demon and they're going to be chaotic evil,
Right.
that's like built into their culture. But if
Yep.
a baby dark elf is raised by anyone else, it comes out whatever it comes out. It wouldn't be coming out chaotic evil just because it's a
Right.
dark elf baby.
Right. That would be the logical assumption until you factor in, if you want to, and if you're an evil dungeon master, you can do this. The magical aspect of it. So is there some innate magical reason for that race to be a
It
certain
would be
way,
for tieflings and
right?
Azamar,
And
but I don't
Azamar,
see
yeah,
why it would be that way for dark elves.
yeah.
They're
I
just
mean, I agree.
subterranean elves.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who knows? Again, I've always thought that ultimately the alignment has to be like what is shaped by the person's experiences, by their upbringing. Because I mean, you might have some tendencies to be like, say, like you said, if you're a tiefling, to maybe tend towards evil a little bit. But if you're raised by, like say decent parents or say adventuring parents or whatever, why wouldn't you take after them? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely doesn't make sense. So yeah, man. So that's all I had today. Like the top list of role playing games, just to have something to like knock around, and I've been getting, so here's something funny since you're I've been getting so many questions, strangely enough, at my office about peptides and all that stuff nowadays. It's like I think it's finally hit like mainstream America, and now
Oh,
people
it's
are
been that
like,
way. Yeah,
"Oh
peptides are
man,
totally mainstream.
man!" It's like, and now with the FDA, you saw that they're closing down people now. Amino
What do you
Asylum
mean?
got closed down. So Amino
Oh,
Asylum, the FDA apparently like
right.
stopped them. And apparently a lot of people are kind of like, kind of nervous. But think about it. You're selling
They were
peptides.
so brazen and
That's what I
in the
mean.
face. They were so brazen.
I mean, you're just a reseller, I assume, of peptides, mostly from China, is my guess,
Mhm.
for most of these companies. And then you're not even like trying to hide in an offshore website or some kind of cryptocurrency transaction that is untraceable. None of that. Just like straight up website storefront. You know,
Yep.
that's Yeah, and I hope that that blowback isn't too bad because, I mean, there are so legit. There are a lot of peptides that I'm gonna say I would research that I would love to purchase without having the fucking government tell me that I can do it. You know, BPC, TV, come on. Like there's no reason to be like heavy-handed with that regulation. But I'm sure that this is part of it is Lilly and all of the pharmaceuticals because of the GLP clones.
Right.
That's
That's all
gotta
it
be it.
is.
That's gotta
That's
be
all
it.
it
It's a
is.
money grab. You know,
Hmm.
if I can have money and you're taking my money, I'm gonna make sure you don't get any money. Is what it sounds like. And now,
Right.
like regular people are going to have less freedom of choice, and that's gonna suck. But oh well.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be a black market. It just won't be gray
Yeah,
market.
yeah, yeah. But you know, like a lot of people felt, I feel like a lot more comfortable in that gray market rather than black. You know, because a lot
That's
of
because
people
they're stupid.
that have well, or they don't have the. Not everyone's brave, man. Not everyone is brave.
Well,
Not
I find
everyone's
that
willing to take
almost
risks.
everyone's got no street smarts. So they're so stupid that
Well,
they're going
there's
to get
that too.
caught.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's the risk reward. You know, we talk about that with everything, right? With harm reduction of any kind, it's a risk reward. Like you can get results if you're willing to be riskier, but you also risk more. You know, so do you want
The
less
reason why I say
results?
they're fucking stupid is that it's not illegal to buy that black market shit. It's just illegal to sell it.
Right.
So the person
The
buying it
onus
is
is
at
not
no
on you.
risk.
Right. Right.
So, but these idiots are not street smart. They don't know that. And
Yeah.
so I have contempt for idiots. I don't have compassion.
Well, I
So
have
fuck them.
I have more compassion. See, this is Todd. This is why you can be lawful good, man. This this
I have
right
no
here.
interest in being lawful good. Like Jamie Lannister says, you have so
Uh,
many oaths.
yeah,
Obey your liege. Obey do right by your father.
yeah,
Protect the innocent. What if
yeah,
your liege tells you to kill the innocent? What if your liege tells you to kill your father? You
yeah.
can't be. You got to break one oath to serve another oath. So
Hmm.
many oaths.
Yeah,
And so that's why you can't be lawful and good. You can either follow rules set down by evil people
yeah.
or you can do the right thing. But you can't follow the rules because the rules are made by lawful evil people.
Well, this is why I'm actually chaotic good. If I had to find an alignment, I am absolutely there. Like it's about doing good. I don't care if we. I'll try to do it the lawful way, but if I can't, and it's still good, gotta go. You know, gotta do it. I don't know.
The laws are there to oppress the stupid and the weak. And then
Probably.
just take and keep them institutionalized so that they're constantly working as slaves, paying tribute in the form of taxes. That's all the laws are about.
And then
Is keeping
funneling that upstairs.
That's all it is.
Yikes.
In a truly libertarian society, there would be no laws, there would be no taxes, really. Very
Yeah.
minimal. There'd just be
Yeah.
roads, police, firefighters, that's it.
Yeah. Army for foreign defense for whatever group decides to organize in their own way that they decide. Yeah. Oh well. You know, that would be awesome.
In Shadowrun, there was Lone Star. There was no public
Yeah.
police. That there
Yeah.
was a corporate police force that cities could use taxes to hire Lone Star to do their policing.
To do their work.
But
Right.
but there's also Knight Errant. So
Uh-huh.
like you could have Knight Errant or Lone Star.
Yeah. Because they were competitors, right? Isn't that
Mhm.
wasn't that the thing? What was the name of the trauma vac people that you could pay that you could have a contract?
Doc Wagon.
Yeah, Doc Wagon. That was amazing. That was such a fucked up concept,
It's just
man.
an ambulance with a minigun that rolls in and just guns
Yeah.
anyone down and
Yeah.
carts
If
you
they're in their
off.
way in your way,
If
it's
you
like,
have the black card, like you have to have a contract with Doc Wagon. And then
yeah,
if
yeah,
your vitals, if you take a deadly wound, they
yeah.
show up within 5 to 10 minutes if you've got the black card. It
Right.
takes 10 to 20 minutes and your brain's gonna be mush. Because
Yeah.
every minute that you were down, you lost 1 point of body
Right.
until you
Right.
hit zero, then you're
Until
dead
you're
dead.
yeah, and then you're like dead, can't come back dead. Fucking game, man. That fucking game was great.
Yeah,
Oh
they
man.
worked in health insurance into the game and made it violent. It's violent health insurance. It's the
It
fucking
is.
coolest game.
It
Shadowrun's
is.
so fucking cool.
It was fucking great. It
I
was
had a character that we used to just go around and he would basically cut up people after they died and then he would resell their BioWare and cyberware.
Oh, sure.
And he drove a hearse and everything. He would basically just harvest fucking BioWare and cyberware from crime scenes and shit.
Shit. I had a 6'4" Jamaican Rastafarian street samurai, which was hilarious.
Well, the way I looked at it was, why would I don't want to get in the fight. I want to show up after the fight and then take all the body parts and then sell them to stores, and then they just sell them as if they're new.
Yeah, it's the whole like, I don't want to be part of the mess. I just want the profit.
Like, I managed to never get in fights. I just made money off of other people's violence.
And I think what you just said, I think it's like a rule in life, even in real life, unfortunately. People making profit off of other people's violence, man.
Yeah, it's just like Lord of War.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah. No, it's a thing for sure. All right, brother. That's all I got for tonight. I gotta go eat this time, because I can't get big if I don't eat. And I'm still working on it, but yeah,
you're
still
got
ways to go, my friend. But
you're probably more than me then now. I'm at 189.1 today.
Oh, I hate you. I weigh 199 this morning. So shit.
You're bigger than me now.
No, well, yeah, in volume maybe, but not in the right volume. There's some proportion issue there that we got to work through, my friend. Maybe next year. It's going to take me a year or two. Anyway, Doctor, as always, a pleasure. We'll do it again.
See you later, Gonzo.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.